Hey, this is John. Welcome to part 2 of this wonderful overheating issue on this car that never ends. The head I got it in the trunk of the Lincoln, and I got to take it to the machine shop here in Temecula. And the head is warped a little bit. It measured, let's see, that bottom number there, a 0.08 is permissible for the feeler gauge to go, to slide under the straight edge, and 0.10. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the phone just rang, and it was Paul at the machine shop, the owner. He says just to cut it flat, $120. Yeah, not bad. He goes, if you want me to clean it, it's an extra $80, but I can clean it, no problem. I've got the stuff. I got the steam cleaner. I can, do all that. One thing I don't like is the lifters. I guess the oil will stay in the lifters unless you take them apart. It might drain out, but they get pumped back up eventually. So yeah, 120 isn't too bad. And we're on our way to Osborne Automotive. So the next city over, Murrieta. Here's all the nice mountains that we have here. Pacific Ocean on the other side, I think. And here we are. Here's my head.
Talk to you later, buddy. Bye. Sorry about all that.
Good Samaritan, huh?
Oh, golly, I used to be in those guys' shoes, too. Wow, haven't seen one of these in a while.
Yeah.
What the heck do you want me to do with it? What's the problem?
Oh, well, he blew the head gasket because auxiliary fans weren't coming on. So
Okay, well,
I had just put a new head gasket last summer.
Okay.
For an oil leak.
Okay, well, so I'm not really familiar with these, but I need the cam out of it.
Okay.
So, do you want to sit with me on the bench right now and we can pull it apart together, and kind of like you taking that part out, then I'll surface it. It's $100.
Okay.
If that's all you want done.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then listen. I'm just trying to save you gas money there and back. I don't want to tell you to go take it home and take the cam out. Basically, we probably don't need to take. Well, you need to take the rocker arms off because I can't cut it with those hanging open.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Is it possible just to pull those two out, or would that work?
No, I need to lift the whole thing off.
The whole thing, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, sure. We can take those two out. But more importantly, we just lift the camshaft out, or the rockers up, and then I can cut it flat.
All right.
Okay?
Cool.
I just want to lift it up and set it on the bench, but I want you here with me doing this because I've never...
And here we are in the Paul's shop, Osborne Engineering. And he's talking about overheating engines and radiator transmission coolant lines. And I said, yeah, I've checked all that out. I know what the cause is. And he got his dial indicator there, and he's measuring it. On the bench with his, steel ruler dealy bob. He goes, it's not warped. And I go, yeah, it is. Try it right down the middle. And he goes, oh, maybe in the center, a little tiny bit. 2/2000ths of an inch. And then he put it on the machine there, and his dial indicator said 3/1000ths of an inch, right in the middle. wanted to take the whole camshaft off, and I talked him out of it. I said, just take the two valves that are protruding out of the, you know, the bottom of the head. And he said, okay, you come back here with me and you're going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't work on European things. You know, so he was kind of surprised. Like, what'd this come off of? I told him 1992, and he goes, no wonder. Yeah, you know, I haven't seen one of these in a long time. But he did it 12 years ago. I said, do you remember 12 years ago? He goes, no. Then I told him a story that my wife and son bought it off eBay with a blown head gasket. He goes, now I remember. So you can see he's shaving it off. He said, come on in here. And I walked in there right like close to it. And there was aluminum shavings just flying all over the place. I go, I'm out of here. And the next day, I'm gonna clean this off. Look how nice that is, nice and smooth. I measured the thickness. Got plenty of thickness on here. There's a couple rocker assemblies, like right here, that he took off. He goes, yeah, when you get home, just put them back on. Just turn the camshaft, get the lobes down. You can't really do that. So I'm going to wait, maybe if you had a special tool, but I'm going to wait till it's back on the engine and then be able to turn the crank and do the deal. You'll see. All right. So just a little brake clean and a couple brushes, stiff, soft plastic brush, a wire brush to get most of the carbon off. Came out pretty easy. Now, a little bit of this. And I'll put a link to everything that I use. Buy it on Amazon, easy. And you just get your gun. It comes with a bunch of attachments. Clean all these passages out. It's so weird. There's holes everywhere for the water. It's like, where do those holes go to? It's the way the water flows. Wow. So, I just noticed this. Is it this hole? This hole right here. This is where the front of the engine is. But this hole. What is that hole for? What is that hole for? Yeah, those are the exhaust. So, I don't know, is that EGR? What's this one for? Nothing. Put this one. Definitely have to see what hooks up to that there. That was a timing cover. 0 cents. Okay. So, yeah, pretty clean, you know. I mean, I go around here like this, a little bit of oil in there, but want to get all any particles of anything. I'm out of steam. Lasted a half hour. I think that's something like that is off. Oh, there. Okay. So that's clean. Being steam, it just like dries, you know, it doesn't sit there. And then I'll just blow it out with some compressed air. Look for any nastiness in there. I don't think there is. They're still pretty smooth. You know? You got your journals, your camshaft. Some of the earlier W124s had soft camshafts that wore out prematurely. Luckily this one is an updated one. Okie doke. Yeah, you can see where these 1, 2 are missing. And then you have little keepers right here. The guy at the machine shop, he goes, John, you come in here. I'm going to take this thing apart. I don't work on European heads very much. I want you here. I want you here in case I do something wrong. You know, first he wanted to take this entire assembly off. You know, he goes, usually they bring him the head to me without this, you know, without the camshaft in it. I go, well, the first time I brought it, you know, no problem. He goes, but you don't have to go home. I don't want you to waste gas, so just come on back here in the shop. And so I went back there and I said, you could take the whole thing off? Yeah. And I go, what if you just take these two off, because there's just two valves that are sticking, you know, out of the head, you know, on an exhaust stroke or whatever it is. When you just take those off, then you have a flat surface. He goes, hey, that's a good idea. So he took these two off and put them in bags and stuff, protected. And then he put it on the machine and did it like that. So it was only $100, you know. I mean, that's pretty cheap. That's way better than 700 and you know, $700 of some people. They want to take the entire thing apart and, you know, sell you a package, you know, so they make money. You know, I can't blame them. Anyways, yeah, about an hour and a half on this. And I got it pretty clean. I mean, you know, you're not going to get it perfect without taking everything apart, but it's pretty clean all the way around. We'll oil everything before, you know, turning the car over and stuff like that. But yeah, we've got a smooth head. Okay, breakdown. All right, it's about 2:45. Now it's time to clean this nice mess up. And it's kind of cool because you can, where is it? You can look at the water jacket and see if it's plugged up. Like, I don't know, man. Like, see that little crusty thing there? I mean, this ain't too bad. Always, I could put it like a bristle brush down that and clean it. I knocked some of it off. Yeah, like see that corner right there. Bit of crust in there. Starting to look better. Okay, it's looking better. I got the surface here pretty clean. 30 years old, you're not gonna get it perfect, but you know, a little light sandpaper just to get the stuff off of there. Just keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and when you get this brake cleaner in here, you use your air to just, you'll see the brake cleaner that goes into this crack here. It sits on top of the rings with a bunch of dirt in it. And then when you blow it out, it'll all come out, and you keep doing it until you don't see it anymore. Oh boy. Okay, now I will put a little bit of oil on this right in here, along here, before putting it back together. Now I need to, I'm gonna clean out these holes for the head bolts. I bought new head bolts. It's well worth it. How would you like to have one of those snap on you when you're torquing it? And man, it's your incredible amount of force that you're put on. This is an old head bolt, and you see that groove that I put on there? I just used on just my drill motor. I had kind of a disc, and I just put this in a vise and just cut a groove, or you can buy one for $60. And what this does is it goes in there and it chases the thread. It gets all the crud out of there. And there is crud in there. And it gets it all out so that when you put the new one in, you don't have all this stuff down at the bottom that's, you know, hampering your torquing, you know. And then you just blow it out. You just blow it out. You can see all that kind of crud in there. You just keep doing it until they come out clean. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to clean out the water passages the best I can there. It's like, this is the, I don't know what that is. It's not, I don't know if it's scale or just, it's just deposits, you know. But it's not horrible. All right. So you got them all clean, and then blow it out with air compressor, and then I got this little deal like this. I don't know where I got it. Just collected it. Showed up my doorstep, and you can clean out all this stuff here, and then blow it out. And also, I might rinse it out. Open up that drain, and you know, this doesn't go down, these go down like that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that right there, but there's a bunch of crud right there. All right, so I just filled up the steamer, and I'm going to try this and steam these little holes here. And I've got the drain, the drain block. This is what it looks like. So open that up. It's made out of aluminum. And we'll steam it. It like blows all that stuff. It'll take it off the walls, and as much as I can get to it. And then I guess I don't want to get water in the oil, but I'll just get each passageway with little funnels or something, or high pressure. We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to drain the oil, and that'll all be new. I had to buy a new serpentine belt because this one's maybe about 4 years old, but it's starting to develop cracks in certain areas like that. It's probably good for another 20,000 miles, right? But you know, when you see stuff, you gotta fix it. I did find when I was taking stuff apart, there was a vacuum hose that was down right here. that was disconnected. So I don't know. You know, in the Mercedes manual, the way they want you to do this job is that you take the head and the intake manifold, this whole thing off in one thing, but you need an engine hoist, you know, or you could do it this way. And when you have to disconnect this thing from the bottom, there's all kinds of stuff that you take apart that breaks, you know, like rubber hoses and vacuum hoses and things like that. But anyways, okay. Yeah, with that little brush and going down and cleaning all this out, it came out pretty nice, you know. And it's always fun to do stuff like this. Where's this hole go? So about an hour and a half. I don't know what this morning was, maybe 2 hours for the head and an hour and a half for this. This one, it's not too bad. It's just, you know, just a lot of things. Also, I took this passageway. I was curious to see how, you know, hold on, how deep this goes, but it only goes like that, which is weird, all of them. And this hole doesn't go down at all on any of them. You think it would, you know, but I don't know. It's supposed to be like that. Put in the comments if you know, but this one goes. Wow. Oh my God. That is deep. Right about there. It's about that, like that. This one stops right there. So does this one. So does this one. And that one. You know. It's just curious on, you know, how it is. And look at all that crud that came out. So I got some of it. I feel pretty confident that it's clean in there. I mean, I blew it out 1,000 times. So now what? I think I'll put the head gasket on there tomorrow when I got my son to help me pick it up. And you gotta, you know, have everything just right. And then you gotta spend another hour torquing the bolts, and it's an exhausting process. All right, so it's Saturday. I got my son off work. He can help me lift this head on. Zika. So here's what I bought from Auto House, $130. Camshaft oil seal. Cam sealed the front cover. The gasket kit comes with one of those, and I buy an extra one because sometimes you can mess up the first one that you put in, so you gotta be real careful. If you mess it up, then you've got to wait for another one to arrive. Cylinder head bolts, $32 for 14 of them. A Victor Rhines 12 point. Head gasket set $47.99. Valve covered gasket $9.99. A Euro Parts coolant hose, bypass hose, and the water pump, the cylinder head. Might as well replace it because they're a pain in the butt to replace with the head on the car, on the engine. Now what's this? Little electrical connector for the coolant sensor. I want to try to rebuild that one. What's this? So there's the hose. Make sure. Yep. See, this is this one's only a little over a year old. You can see it. Yeah, they're a pain to put on. So I got that. Valve cover gasket. Extra seal. So look for there's the little. Yeah, this I believe this is for the electrical, and build it out. And I'm going to put a 1,000 ohm resistor across the wires. Hopefully makes the high-speed fan turn on earlier, if that system even works. I'm kind of having a hard time with the high-speed fans. I don't trust them coming on automatically. Now, bolts, and then the gasket. It comes with exhaust, intake manifold, various O-rings. I think this one, I think that one is for kind of weird water hose on the back of the head. Timing, upper timing cover gasket for the bottom. Always want to replace that. And that's the new head gasket. I'm going to spray this with the copper spray both sides before putting it on, but this time I'm going to inspect it. And there's I'm going to put a piece of blue tape over, I think, these holes here that they could get plugged up with spray once you compress it. So I'm going to try putting a piece of tape on there, then spraying it, then taking the tape off both sides. So when it's compressed, that gasket material or that spray on stuff isn't going to go and fill these holes up and stop water flow for coolant. Okay, it's almost 9 a.m. doing laundry. Wake my son up around 12 noon. Only good thing is the weather's cooperating. It's 56 degrees. God, I love it. I got kind of organized my tools a little bit because I can't work in a mess. You know, I start like bending over looking for stuff. It's nice having a table like this. Fold up table. You just put all your stuff out and stay organized the best you can, because it can turn into a mess. These tools could be all over the floor, all over here, all over the cars, and just, where's that wrench, you know? To stay organized. And that's always a good thing to have. All right, now it's Saturday, about 11 o'clock. Pretty soon I'll put the head on. I'm just cleaning everything up while I have everything off. I got a little steamer heating up. And I'm gonna clean this valve cover. Got my zip, a little brush. Yeah. Just tidying things up a little bit so it looks nicer. Makes it nicer to work on engines when they're, you know, kind of clean. When they're filthy dirty. It's like, ugh, I don't even want to touch it. So every time I just throw a little silver paint, a little high heat paint on that. I did the touch up on the exhaust manifolds. 10 years ago, I took them out with a wire wheel, and I really like got everything off of them. And so every time they come off, they're easier to clean up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this hose in here first. Hold on. Hold it. Where the freaking... Let's grab a couple screws, see if they fit. I don't think that's... There, look. Look a little light. There, okay. Okay, went down. All right. Go ahead and move.
Are you gonna do it from that direction?
Yeah, this is the easy part. So, so the first pass is with the torque wrench. This is the first step. See your starting point. So you get 55 Newton meters dialed in on your torque wrench. So they say, so this is 13, 9, 5, 1. One of those that was a pain in the ass with this, I don't know, with this head. I don't know why. It was insane. I couldn't get it to work right. It's like the guy at Osborne Engineering. What is that? That's a 92 Mercedes. Yeah, I don't do European. Haven't seen one of these in a long time. Yeah. Fun, huh?
Yep. Tons.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it's on the car and off the table. And the last one? Okay. Okay, so I marked all these. See the white dot is there. They're on every single one. So when I take my breaker bar and do 190 and then another 90. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Now you can see these. See that spot? So that's the first 90. And then the next one I'll be turning it all the way down so it's like this. And this one, on a scale of 1 to 10, this was about 5. I mean, it's pretty hard to turn it. You know, arms are shaking. You're like, gritting your teeth. So yeah, it was probably 10 minutes to do that. And the next one's going to be even harder. And I'm going to take a break for 15 minutes and let these stretch because they're stretching. Okay. All right, let's do the final torque. I don't want to. I don't want to. Okay. So let's start with 1. Oh, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So this is 1. Oh my God, it's. I don't know if it'd be easier with a regular bolt head or this. It's just this kind of like wants to slip off or something. So. Oh man, I'll tell you. Good God. I mean, I am using all my strength. Oh, okay, there's one. Whoa, where the dog is. We're done. We're done. Yeah, see? Get that dot down here. And that's 290s. Oh my God. Definitely a workout when you're not used to doing stuff like that every day. Probably easier if you had a really nice breaker bar. And it's awkward because that bit is like this high, and you have to push down with one hand to keep it on, and then pull it with the other one. You know, I haven't had one fly off. I think I did last time, one of them. And I'll keep your mouth closed. Yeah, I painted that up a little bit. It looks pretty nice. Painted the valve cover. I might paint the air cleaner tomorrow. Expecting high winds. So, glad I got this done. There. Okay. I think that's enough for me. What is it now? Almost 4:30, so about an hour's worth of work. And this hose is gonna need to slide over more. This hose is a pain in the butt because this rubber and this intake manifold are so close together. Look at that. The way I can do it is I'll push this back up on here, but then to get this clamp over on one side, it's got to be two clamps. I think last time I figured out putting like WD-40 or grease right in between the rubber and this and being able to get that clamp on there, but you know, I don't know. I was gonna put it on here without the, you know, the head being on and put this on, but then you'd be fighting it, putting it on, trying to get that to clear, whatever. Anyways, okay, so the head is on, the hard part's done. All right, it's now Sunday afternoon, about 4:30. I did a little work this morning, and we got the winds. Southern California, you get these Santa Ana winds off the desert. When I lived in Orange County, they were super windy. It was always windy at this time of year down there. Blow everything over. So I got, let's see, what did I get done? I got this hose on. Thank God. That was a struggle. Always, every time. I got the gear back on. I got the pin back in. Now I've got to put the tensioner in. And I believe on Ben's World you can look up some of the stickies there, and they have all the instructions on how to do all this stuff. Yeah, then once I get this tensioner back on, then I can tension this chain. And then I can turn the crank and get these things back on. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I can put the cover back on right here. I still got to put all the sensors let's see, before I put the intake manifold, at least there's room. Sometimes there's not room for the big one. Should be okay. On the intake, there's a couple of those, what do you call them, those little round things that help you align everything. I forget what they're called. The night before, I took a little bit of gasket sealer and I just put just a little bit on there and stuck it in there. There's just one here, one there. That way they don't fall out accidentally. They sometimes they're loose. Then I put the gasket on there, and then I use some kite string here and here, and tied it back so the gasket wouldn't fall when we're putting the head on. Okay. All right, tensioner is back in. You just screw that first little ring, 30 Newton meters, and there's supposed to be a O-ring on this plug, and this one's been missing for a long time. So I just use any old kind of gasket maker stuff and put it on there. Keeps it from oil from dripping down. Timing mark is back. It's on. It's on there, and it's right on there, so I know that my timing has not changed. And now I can rotate the engine. Oh my God. Get these lobes down. I should be wearing my gloves. Get that back one. You're on YouTube. Say hi.
Oh, I'm on YouTube?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your YouTube channel?
My German cars. Okay, so got both rockers back on, the little keepers. I squirted some oil down the spark plug holes. Rotated the crank about 8 times, observed the rockers are all in line. Sun's going down. I got the oiler back on. Everything's tight. I got the sensors back on. I think the next thing will be to put this timing cover back on. So I've been playing with my soldering gun. So I bought this electrical connector. It's for the 2-pin coolant sensor. And I put a 1,000 ohm resistor. I bought a bunch of these on Amazon cheap. And I soldered it. Took, all these pins came out. That the old one just disintegrated pretty much. But I want it more factory looking than what I have on there right now. So did a pretty good job just soldering that. The pins come out and they have little holes in them. You get the solder out and you just stick the wire and this thing in there. And what this thing supposedly does, there's a few people that don't like this hack. But there's a lot that do like the hack. And what it does is, being that 2-pin blue sensor triggers the high-speed fans, right? And it triggers it at supposedly 105 to 110 Celsius, which is way over 200 degrees. It's about when your engine wants to warp the head. So what this does, it puts resistance on the circuit and fools the climate control unit to think that the engine is overheating. It it'll turn the fans on supposedly like instead of 105, maybe 95 Celsius, 97 Celsius, probably like maybe at a 197 Fahrenheit. So I managed to find a blue and brown wire that I had a stash. I had a neighbor move out when I lived in another city, and he left all this wiring behind, and so I just took it all spools. I mean, tons of it. I go, I could use that one day, and that was probably 30 years ago. Comes in handy. Anyway, so I'm gonna just go back and start putting their car back together. I do have to go to Walmart and pick up the oil there. What I'm using is a 1540 diesel. Yeah. Well, anyways, here's the part. Here's the part number. So, as far as the engine oil, that 1540 diesel. It's an old car, The heavyweight oil, I've been told, will stay in the lifters, where the lighter weight oil, if you have noisy lifters, like clack, 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 that's because it doesn't have any oil in there. And, overnight, that heavier oil will stay in there, so when you start it up, you don't have that noise. Anyways, that's the idea. But there's the part number for that electrical connector. All right, upper timing case cover. Trying to get that seal out. Can be a real joy. There's the seal right there. Over time, it gets hardened, and it's really hard to get off. So get yourself something like this, 1/1/16 socket. Fits perfectly right there. First I started, that wouldn't even get it out. So I had to use the end of this just to get it started to come out. But this is like, you probably won't need this, but for some reason it was really tight this time. This is a 36 millimeter Taiwanese. It's Taiwan. Okay. Anyways, that's how I got it out. Okay, so what I do is I put this black sealant, see the way I have it? I have it under this seal, up this side, and then on the other side too. Then put some more right here before you place it down, so you won't have a leak. Okay, there's 2 long bolts on this side, 2 short bolts on this side. Got a little fastener there for a clip or something. Gotta undo this thing to get the bottom bolt through there. Get an inspection mirror and look underneath right here and make sure that seal hasn't, sometimes they can, when you put it down, they can go in like that and you don't realize it until it's too late. And then just wipe a little bit off if you have to. There. Then we get to do the seal, the fun part. So the seal's usually not that hard. It's just you got to kind of pound it in without destroying it, because the outside of it is metal. Then it's got a little spring on the inside, and it goes in this direction here, and it's a real tight fit. So I'm going to put grease on there, and I think the last time I did it, I don't know, I couldn't find anything to fit over it really. Maybe a socket might help if you can get it just right. I think last time I actually used a punch and just started tapping it gently all the way around until it's flush with this. Okay? Okay, I got it in. It's in a little farther than I'd like it to be, but that's okay. It might get pushed back out or it'll start leaking. I don't know. Anyways, check it out on yours. Try putting the seal in first. It's just hard because you get it. You can push it in with your fingers and there's just a little bit hanging out. And then you start knocking it. One side goes in, the other side comes out. You push that in, the other side comes out. And then you keep doing that and it drives you freaking crazy. So this, where was it? That big old socket that fit, this one. The 1 1/16 fits over it perfectly, and you can knock it in. I have this little hammer that's heavy, you know, so I don't hit the radiator. And I just put that over there, and I just went wham like that, and I just went in. And I think it'll be okay. As long as there's no leaks, that's all we care about. But always get 2 of those gaskets. The first time I tried this job, I screwed up the first one. I had to do it over again. I had to order a gasket and wait for it. Okay, about an hour and a half later. This side is pretty much done. I got a new oil filter on. Got all the water hose, all the sensors are hooked up. All those horrible bolts, boy, I tell you. There's some that are real deepy. I gotta have big, long, you know, sockets, extensions, swivels, all 13 millimeter, stuff like that, you know. And there's like bolts down below them. So the trick is to get the center bolt on, because after you put the head, this intake manifold just a little bit like that, so nothing will line up if you try it. So you get the center one lined up. That one will go in, and then you get all the rest. But yeah, it's just bent over. It's something. All right, starting to look like an engine. Everything's done on this side. The valve cover is on. What do I got left? I got exhaust. I've got the ignition distributor, air cleaner, and then we just got to fill it with fluids. So I think I don't know, I got to go take off and go do some stuff, but tomorrow I got to go to the doctor or take my wife to the dentist, and I got to go to the dentist too. I don't want to. Maybe tomorrow night I can spend some more time on it. I got the new electrical connector on there. Looks pretty good. You do what you can. Yeah, it's starting to look like an engine again. Thanks. Anyways, I did something really stupid. I was trying to get the bolt that holds this dipstick to the head. It's a bolt about that big, 6 millimeter Allen, and it dropped down that exhaust pipe. And I've been trying to get it out with a fish tape with a magnet on there, and then a plumbing snake with a magnet on there, and just, I don't know. It's like right about here, catalytic converter starts. I'm just gonna leave it in there. I can't get it out. So either it's just gonna sit there and rattle and be really irritating, or you won't hear it, or it got into the catalytic converter and it'll just get blown out, melted, whatever. All right, so it's a Wednesday. Worked a couple hours last night, a couple hours this morning. I've got the exhaust manifold back on. The back one was easy. The front one was, God, at least 2 hours, 2.5 hours of messing with it. What happened is, for some reason, the holes wouldn't line up. It was like the whole thing was shifted forward when it was attached to the pipe. So what I did is I took it off the jack stands. That kind of relieved tension, I guess, on the pipe. And then I could get these two on and these two on, and these two would not line up to the holes. So I ended up putting a crowbar at the pipe right down there, pushing against here, kind of moved the pipe around, and both of these bolts holding the pipe were totally not even in there, you know. So everything was, it's tight, but you could still move it by force. So that's what I did, and then got the gaskets in. Pain in the butt. And got the shields in down there. Really close to getting it done. So frustrating. And then I go to put the serpentine belt on, and the belt tensioner shock absorber broke. I found it like that. It's supposed to be welded on there. So I ordered one. It'll be here in a couple days. And then I got to put this and put it back on. No big deal. And I think these holes are from the upper timing cover. I can probably loosen that. I hope I don't have to take the ignition off. I don't think so. I think it just goes from here to here, yeah. And so things like that will just stop your progress. I got the oil for it. Diesel oil, 1540 thick oil. Gonna use that, and coolant should arrive today, but I can't. Okay, it's all back together. Fan, everything is on. Got coolant, got oil. Probably have to top the oil off a little bit. Fan doesn't seem to be hitting anything, so here goes nothing. Yeah, let's prime it a couple times. Why does the stereo always go on? I hate it. Okay. It's gonna be noisy at first. You hear those lifters? They'll pump up there. Gotta warm up. I think that's how you do a head gasket. It'll start smoking from stuff. Good, it's running. So this took about, started on the 25th of August, so 10 days. Figure about 10 days. Stumble. Oil pressure's good. One thing I forgot to tighten, the shock absorber there. I'm just gonna let it warm up like this. I'm not gonna drive it. Might be missing a little bit. Got to run it for about 20 minutes like this and let the head gasket do its thing. Really weird. The temperature gauge is going up to the 100 mark and past it, and the high-speed fans came on, but it's not even hot. It's not even hot. Nothing's hot. Come on. Stuff you gotta work out. See it rising? Well, at least we know the high-speed fan works. Really weird. I mean, system thinks 108 degrees. 156. 80-degree water. Weird. So, I don't know, the only thing I can think of is maybe that the coolant temperature sensor is bunk. Now look at it. Dang. Okay. So, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but I cut that resistor out of there. I think maybe that was doing some fooling around, so don't put one of those on your car. But it was really weird. Now it's, you know, seems to be running okay. The thermostat finally opened. I added water to it. It's not stumbling anymore. So that's pretty good. Got a nice heater on. Good. Boy, will have heat during the winter. That was so weird. It was like going up to 120. And it wasn't even hot. It's never happened to me before. Good. Was it a fluke? Was the resistor, maybe it was a bad resistor or something. It's a 1,000 ohm resistor, but it, at least it definitely, you know, the high-speed cooling fan comes on. Oh, feeling pretty good. I just gotta fix that. I gotta remember to do that. Shock absorber. Heck, the old one was broken. Probably hadn't worked in a while. Yeah. Hot water going in. It's circulating. How that lights up. Okay, so tomorrow, oh, I see the washer. Oh, I see the nut and washer. Great. get one of those. Bought it at Lowe's. It's the strongest little magnet. That thing comes in handy so much. Okay, curious to see. It's getting hot just sitting there like that, but not real bad. Let me see if this automatic climate control works. Nope. See, when I first got in the car and started it up and tested this, that function worked. Now it doesn't work. Weird. Fans work. Yeah, there's something, maybe, I don't know, it might be the climate control unit that does that weird on and off thing, you know. I mean, it was miswired for years. I have, I don't know, I think about 3 other ones. I'm going to try another one and see if I get that, because the auto thing worked. When I first changed all the connections in the back that were wrong, that started working. Other things started working. All right. I think that I'm going to let it just cool off now. All right. Doing some test driving around the block. Good voltage. Temperature's good. I still need to add more coolant to that. It comes on and off. And we'll check for drips. Yeah, temperature's pretty good. That was so weird. I was like, what the hell? Well, at least we know that all the coolant is flowing through the head gasket. For a while there, I looked up on Google and I go, what does it mean when temperature is going red hot on the gauge and the engine is cold and the thermostat's not even open? It's a head gasket failure. I go, what the hell? A head gasket that isn't sitting properly. I guess it could, block off coolant passages, but God, I hate it. People on bicycles at night, Good. Clear. Oh yeah. Runs good. Runs just like a W124. These are great driving cars, so if you ever want to get one of these, get it all sorted out. Amazing. It's real solid feeling, Still got other things to do on this, like fix the pillar upholstery in here, and maybe flush the brake fluid, put new tires on it. Yeah. It's now 68 degrees outside. It's finally starting to cool off. All right. My son will be glad to have his ride back. He's getting tired of driving the minivan. The soccer mom vehicle. Yeah, look at that. Well, another head gasket done. And everything seems to be working just fine. Took it for a spirited drive. AC on, full blast. About 77 degrees out, and the temperature gauge stayed at about between the 85 and the 90 mark right there without having to use the auxiliary fan. So, if you got to do this to your 300E, my cost was a little over $300, about $100 for the parts, head gasket, and the miscellaneous goes along with it. $100 to have the head skimmed. About another $100 for oil, filter, coolant, and about 15 hours labor. Figure on about 10 days. And when you're in there, clean it. Clean everything you can. Just clean it. That takes the most time, is cleaning all that stuff in there. And then every time you work on it, it's clean. Nobody wants to work on dirty engines, especially if you're a DIY guy like me. So for now, happy Saturday. I'll see you guys later.